Hello and welcome to episode 59 of the All Things Leeds podcast. I'm NkGhTg and joining me is, as ever, my co-host, Charles Foster. Hello.
Hello for the final time.
Yes.
It seems like.
Are you well?
I mean, personally, yeah.
As good as you can be?
Yeah, I don't have any symptoms. I mean, they say that people get it and can be symptomless, so, you never know, do you?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't shook hands or anything, have we, yet, so far?
No.
Yeah, we must reiterate, we are probably, more than 2 metres away from each other, or 2 feet away from each other, so... Yeah, all fine here, but we're as good as we can be for the current climate.
Yeah, I've not had a temperature, not been coughing or anything like that, so...
Yeah, and fingers crossed. Crossed.
I ain't seen my nan in about 2 weeks, but I've been phoning her and that, and she seems all right.
Yeah, we're in for a torrid time, aren't we? Really, I mean, nice to actually get in the studio, probably for the last time, but it was nice to actually come out, go into the studio, see a mate, and it was nice.
Yeah,
it's nice
because we haven't. I don't know about you yourself, but I haven't been self-isolating. But I've also not been going out really at all.
Yeah, because there's nothing to do. There's nothing to do.
Because the only thing that's open is at the shop. I went to my local park with my brother the other day for a kickabout, and that was it.
Yeah,
and nobody was out.
Yeah, it's been really boring, and it's only 1 week in. Yeah, of course, in this episode we will be talking about all the latest ongoings in football and at Leeds United, and discussing the coronavirus and the impact that is all having. It could be a short episode, but for sure, must go on. It must go on. This is the All Things Leeds podcast. So, where to start? The last game, maybe? The last game. Nice 3-1 win away at Cardiff. Patrick Bamford brace and a Jack Harrison free kick. Can't complain there.
We were supposed to be playing tonight as well, weren't we?
Yeah. We should be playing Fulham tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, well, the last one, we still got to talk about the Huddersfield game for a start, don't we?
We talked about that last week.
Did we?
Yes.
Jesus.
We did do a podcast last week, mate.
That is how long it's been since I've actually been paying attention to anything that's been going on. Right, fair. Yeah. Well, there's no games to talk about, but yeah, we'll
the 3-1 win over Cardiff City that Leeds United put out.
The FIFA tournament, yeah. Well, not the FIFA tournament, the FIFA game, because we did we bow out of the FIFA tournament? The one that
I don't think we entered it. At all. But a lot of teams have bowed out of it. We'll get onto that in a minute.
Yeah, the 3-1 win on FIFA was pretty good.
Yeah, of course, Leeds United streaming FIFA 20 simulation of Cardiff versus Leeds on Sunday. 7,394 people watched live, and it's got over 175.3 thousand views in total, which is just mental.
Which just shows how bored everybody is.
For a FIFA game. FIFA game.
Everyone's just having to find things to do, aren't they? Because you don't realise how empty your life is until sport goes. I mean, I did.
Yeah, I know.
I'm talking about anyone. I'm talking about myself, really. When sport goes away, and you just sat there and you're thinking, this is really boring, isn't it?
Yeah.
I'm just kind of doing uni work and then going to sleep.
Yeah.
Is this what being like a proper adult is?
Did you watch the stream on Sunday?
Of the game? No, I didn't.
Did you not? I got proper into it, mate.
No, I wasn't getting into it. No, I couldn't be bothered with all that, because if I wanted to play FIFA against Cardiff, I could do that on my own time.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a big FIFA fan. I'm a big gamer, so I got proper into it, mate. And a lot of other people did as well.
You're much better at FIFA than me. I'm terrible at FIFA. So.
Yes, I thrash you every single time I play.
I'm awful at FIFA, but yeah. I mean, I'm glad we hypothetically lost our clean sheet record, but we
lost our clean sheet. I mean, they can't complain. Patrick Bamford brace, Jack Harrison wonderful free kick, so hopefully they kick on and continue with good form.
One of Bamford's from outside the box as well.
Yeah, it was fantastic.
Fairly rare strike for Paddy.
Yeah, it was brilliant. Other clubs as well, they've been having fun on Twitter as well, of course. I think Southampton and Manchester City played Connect 4, didn't they? Bayer Leverkusen's English Twitter account, that's been very good as well. I've very much enjoyed that.
They've actually got a really good
they do.
Twitter admin. It's been good for a while. Yeah. It's worth following some of these different admins of different clubs, because they do come up with some strange stuff.
And especially all of these foreign clubs that have English associated accounts.
Yeah. Also, if you don't follow them already, definitely follow Neil's Old Boys English. That's good.
Oh yeah, that's brilliant. I think that's just like one guy, isn't it, who just runs it.
He's also Irish. He's not Argentinian.
Some guy who lives in Dublin just from Newell's Old Boy English Twitter account.
Well, because obviously Ireland doesn't have a big. He does have a league, but he doesn't have a big kind of football scene. So Irish fans obviously pick English teams, or they pick Scottish teams, or they pick any around the world is picking an Argentinian team that doesn't win much. I respect that because I mean Newell's kind of finished mid-table by the sound of it most years. So fair play to the lad.
Yeah, but make sure you do follow all these Newell's Old Boy accounts and Bayer Leverkusen. I really do enjoy that. Enjoy what they put out. But all these Twitter accounts playing Connect 4 with each other. It's been fantastic. Been quite entertaining. Lovely to see.
You've seen that video of Calvin Phillips on Instagram, like playing kick me ups with the toilet roll.
Oh,
and tagging other footballers in to do it.
What's he doing that for?
I saw Jamie Carragher doing it as well.
Yeah, what's he doing that for? Toilet roll. It's gold dust right now. Keep it.
Yeah, it's
sell it for thousands.
Hand soap's the big one. Like, we really struggle to get all the hand soap.
Yeah, so have we.
Not sanitizer, literally stuff you wash your hands with.
Yeah, we've had to go to bar soap now. Which is I don't like using bar soap at all.
I mean, desperate times, desperate measure. You could probably get away with shower gel for a little bit if you've got nothing.
Yeah, but to everyone panic buying right now, stop panic buying. It's awful and it's selfish.
Particularly for when you've got like older and vulnerable people.
For people who can't panic buy.
My local Sainsbury's, they've got one where I live in East Leeds, but there's one in Colton as well. A big Sainsbury's. Today at between 7 and 8, they're closing the supermarkets. Anyone who isn't kind of old or elderly, old or disabled, they are going between 7 and 8 this evening, and they can buy stuff just so they can get access to the stock, which is really good.
But they need to think of people who can't panic buy because you're leaving us with nothing.
Rare move here as well. I'm going to compliment Chelsea, which is something I never do. Did you see the announcement they've done today? They've made their hotel available to NHS staff in London.
Brilliant.
So they get access to so they don't have to travel as far between the hospitals and the homes and that.
That's really good. Yeah, every cloud.
Yeah, I don't like Chelsea, but that's a good move. And they're also Chelsea are footing the bill for the hotel as well. They're not charging the NHS anything for it.
No, that's very good. That's very good. There's always some positives that we can take from this. Sticking with online though and what clubs are doing, as you mentioned earlier, Leyton Orient, they set up their own FIFA tournament with other clubs joining in, but a lot of clubs have pulled out though due to the involvement with a certain newspaper. We won't name them, but certain newspaper.
We'll just say that people in a certain part of the country aren't very fond of, particularly.
Yes. Particularly on Merseyside.
Yeah, particularly in the northwest. Not a very popular newspaper.
Yeah, but that FIFA tournament, something to do, something to watch. So looking forward to that. But I mean, when we were sitting here last week, Charles, we were optimistic, talking about the season ahead. We had Kevin Markey on, of course, talking about the food banks and encouraging people to go down, donate food and stuff. And it's incredible how much has changed in such a short space of time.
I was a bit blasé about it last week, and I look like an absolute mug.
Yeah. I mean, I was telling you, serious.
Yeah, I just thought that the football would still continue because no players were kind of getting it and no managers were getting it. But then, as soon as we recorded, Arteta got it and Hudson-Odoi got it. 3 Leicester players. I think Watford had a few people in self-isolation. So then it was inevitable that the Premier League was going to go. And if the Premier League went, then the Football League was just going to...
Yeah, just a domino effect, yeah.
So, it's... The thing is, I'm a bit worried about, obviously, like everyone's worried that the season won't finish, that they'll just void it. I mean, for me... obviously, the recent news from UEFA, they've postponed Euro 2020 to next year.
Yeah, we'll go on to that a little bit later.
A bit later, but so there's a bit more time over the summer now. But I'm still worried. It doesn't seem like it's getting any better. It only seems like this thing's going to get worse.
Yeah, that is the scary thing, really. It's going to get a lot worse before it gets better for me, really. But yeah, it's just incredible how much has changed in a week, really. Of course, no professional football last weekend. How did you cope with no football? Were you really bored?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was really bored, yeah. I mean, I couldn't really go out, so I just got... Well, I mean, I did what most people in the country did. I just got really drunk with family at home.
Fair enough.
Me, my mum and dad and my brother, obviously my older brother, not my littlest brother, my brother that's 19, we just started drinking, because it was Paddy's Day yesterday as well, so I'm part Irish, so we were just drinking whiskey and Guinness on the sofa. And
might as well.
And watching films, so, I mean, there's not else to do. Obviously, unless you're an alcoholic. But Just get drunk at home. Just play board games, watch films, just chat with your family. 'Cause otherwise, you're going to go insane.
Yeah, but it is going to get very boring very quick, though. I mean, this is only 1 week, and I've barely got by.
The weekend was dull. It was boring.
Yeah, I mean, I did go to a football match, though. I don't know if that was the right decision or not, but of course, National League, they were playing, and I covered Farsley Celtic, so I went up to Darlington. Nice 4-2 win there, so very much enjoyed that. But, apart from that, it's been a very dull weekend, no Super Sunday and all that. It's just, it's not been great, and I don't know how we're all going to cope for the next few weeks, really.
It's not just sport, it's not just football, but it's football commentary, football journalism.
Yeah, a lot of people out of work now.
Yeah, there's the kind of gig economy, people like bars and restaurants and things like that, or like comedy gigs and things like that. The whole kind of city kind of grinds to a halt.
Everything's affected.
I mean, it's all right if you can work from home, if you're like in an office, but if your profession relies on service, and this country has is mainly service industry, then you're going to struggle, and that's why everyone's kind of a bit worried that the economy's going to tank, that football league clubs may tank as well.
Yeah, it is quite worrying times ahead, really. But yeah, have a weekend. I mean, so many people have been making their own entertainment. I've watched a marble race on Twitter. I don't know if you've seen that. Did you see that?
I didn't see that. No.
Gary Lineker tweeted out a marble race, and it's very entertaining. It goes on for about 3 minutes. You got this winning the lead, Comet, who's like always in the lead. Then he gets tracked back. He goes this like fourth, and then he makes a last grasp recovery and goes and wins it.
It just shows, that's just sport though. You realise it. The amount of sport you watch is just enormous, and you realise that you need it as a distraction from like the mind-numbing boredom.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, I very much enjoyed watching that marble race. There was also a video of people playing tennis outside their apartment windows, and also the video of Clive Tilsley. I don't know if you've seen this on Instagram, but commentating on his wife, I think, making bolognese. It's like, here, the tomato puree.
I was watching that tennis video. I think it was in Italy. Those two guys in the balcony. I was thinking, what if they drop the ball?
Yeah,
it's like, who's doing that?
There's no one down on the street, let's be honest. He's not going to hurt anyone.
What's he going to go? He's still got to travel down like 4 floors to go get the ball back.
Yeah, but I mean, there's nothing else to do really. So,
no.
I mean, obviously there is more things to worry about than just sport. And it really has, made me realise that, I probably spend too much time worrying about sport, really. But, sport, it's an escape for some people, isn't it? It's sport.
Well, that's what it is. It's just a distraction.
Yeah.
And most of our lives, we've got to admit it, most people, especially in like who are middle class or anything like that, like we are, or working class even, life is just 90% distractions. It is just distracting yourself with stuff. Even like you see these upper class people at like Cheltenham and people, like these horse races in suits and that, and now they've got to go home, and now everyone's really bored, and now everyone's kind of betting on like different leagues that are still open so they're betting like the Ukrainian B League or something, just so they can gamble, because that's how much. I mean, that is an upside. I mean, that people are gambling less, obviously, because we don't want people gambling as much as they currently are.
No, yeah. I mean, I don't think anyone's going to be upset with bookies going bust.
No, not much sympathy towards bookies.
No sympathy at all.
Slightly more sympathy towards the NHS, which may go bust as a result of this.
Yeah, but bookies, I'm not too bothered about.
I won't be wiping away any tears seeing William Hill go under or anything. Oh, sorry, I should have said a specific company. Any gambling company going under.
But yeah, obviously a lot more things to worry about, but sport is the main thing that we cover on this channel, so that's what we'll be focusing on. So of course last week we did tell you that Leeds United had closed off Thorpe Arch, the training ground, to the academy sides and women's team. It was just the first team under 23s and under 18s and key personnel who were allowed at Thorpe Arch due to the coronavirus outbreak. Well, they've now shut it completely. They've shut Thorpe Arch completely, told everyone to stay home with players training by themselves, and they've got planned routines and stuff. And the same with other clubs around the world as well, because all sport, all the way down to grassroots, is now banned. CEO Angus Kinnear, he came out, spoke on LUTV, said some some important stuff, like, you don't want the season to be void. We'll go on to that a little bit later. But go and watch that interview if you haven't already. But as you've alluded to earlier, it all started really last Thursday evening, didn't it, when Arsenal manager Mikel Arteta was tested positive for coronavirus, and then you had Chelsea's 19-year-old winger Callum Hudson-Odoi also testing positive. That called for an emergency meeting for the Premier League last Friday, and they postponed all games, and it was just a domino effect from that, really, wasn't it? Just a domino effect. The EFL and all major leagues across Europe pretty much have been stopped until April the 3rd. Whether we see football played in April, I'm not so sure.
I would be extremely surprised if Leeds were playing at Blackburn on April the 3rd.
Yeah.
Extremely surprised.
As I said earlier, the National League played their games last weekend. I'm not sure whether that was a good idea or not, but the National League have now postponed their games. And as I say, all football all the way down to grassroots is now banned. And that's the same with other sports as well. Those are also not taking place. I mean, it's just become insane, hasn't it? Absolutely insane.
It's interesting to see how society is reacting to this, though, because it's all going a bit strange. Like, people are just finding it really difficult to cope with. Obviously, we're going on like shopping sprees and anything like. Also, don't do that. Don't go on a shopping spree. Just get what you need.
Yeah, I mean, shops are going to remain open through this.
They're not.
Shops aren't going to close, guys.
It's not the end of the world. It's not the apocalypse.
Yes,
it's just people staying inside for a bit. You don't need 150 rolls of toilet paper or the world's supply of hand soap. And
if you do, just go to the shops, and then if people stop panic buying, then you'll be able to get them. There's no need to panic buy at all. Shops are going to remain open.
But there is positive things to see in this. I've noticed. I didn't think about this. I bet it's doing the environment a massive favour, because no one's flying anywhere and barely anyone's driving about.
I mean, I flew into Leeds City Centre this morning. It was fantastic. The roads were clear.
Not literally. I was talking about literal flights. You didn't literally fly a plane into Leeds.
Oh no.
Jeez. No, I was talking about literal flights, like Leeds Bradford. No one's flying from there.
No, but you mentioned roads as well.
The roads being clear. Yeah, it's probably really good for the environment. So if you're looking to find a positive, thinking the world's not dying anymore, briefly, until we crack back on again and ruin it. But yeah, it's interesting to see how everyone's reacting to this, and reacting to kind of adjusting to staying away from their relatives and staying inside. And you do kind of worry about kind of mental health implications, particularly with people who are on the road. Yeah,
I mean, there's very big implications, because of all this. Obviously, from a fan's point of view, there's boredom. There's less to do, less socialising, which puts a lot of people at risk, especially people with mental health illnesses. Because as we mentioned earlier, football's an escape for some people, sport's an escape, and if you don't have that, if it's a big part of everyone's life is sport, really, and if that's taken away from your life and you're left with barely anything, then that's not good. And people who have mental health issues, it's scary for them, really, isn't it?
Yeah, sports. I mean, plenty of coping mechanisms are not good, like obviously drinking and smoking and doing drugs and things like that. And sport and exercise is a good crutch to have. It's a good escape.
I think some gyms are closing.
Yeah.
So
that could be a problem, because people do rely on that to kind of stave off other things and keep things at bay and keep a lid on things. So that is a bit of a worry.
Yeah, definitely. If you are feeling a bit lonely now that there's no sport, if you're self-isolating, if you are feeling lonely, there is people to reach out for. My DMs are open on Twitter. Find All Things Leeds at All Things Leeds 1 on Twitter, also on Facebook as well, All Things Leeds. DMs and messages are always open.
Feel free to DM either of us.
Yeah, if you're feeling lonely, you can talk to us, or you can ring Samaritans as well on 116 123. 116 123 there for Samaritans. So yeah, if you're feeling lonely through self-isolation or just boredom, really, then there is people out there to call and to talk to as well. But yeah, big implications here. Of course, people losing jobs as well, especially at football clubs. Barnet FC, they've got rid of a few people who aren't being paid. I think they're also getting rid of people who are also being paid as well. And clubs will struggle. Maybe not the Premier League clubs. They're fine. They're 100% fine.
Mainly because they rely on TV revenue way more than on gate revenue.
But also they're run by millionaires and sometimes by billionaires. So.
Whereas like League 2 and National League clubs, they're run by local businessmen.
Yeah, even League 1 as well.
Yeah.
So all the way from League 1 down, to non-league. Those clubs are in danger. They rely on match day revenue to some clubs, really. And the clubs need help. It's not just clubs; it's local businesses as well. Especially with sport as well. You've got pubs. The Peacock down at Elland Road, that's going to struggle. I know that the fish and chip shop Gravely's, that's going to be struggling now that there's no match day for however long. We don't know how long this is going to last for. So, many non-league clubs will struggle, and I think maybe not down to the government to help, although they are classed as small businesses really. But the government, Boris Johnson, they're coming out every day giving updates. The Prime Minister and the government, so that's good. And they said that they are going to support local small businesses, which is fantastic. But in terms of football clubs, I think Premier League should help as well. Some Premier League clubs
just donate revenue. What annoyed me over the weekend, I suggested this on Twitter to BT Sport, because they were still obviously showing National League games, and no other sport in England is taking place. Give all the revenue from all the views for BT. Give all the revenue to the non-league clubs that are on TV. Why would you not give them all the revenue that the Premier League clubs get? Because they're attracting, obviously, people are desperate to watch a bit of football and a bit of sport. So if they're tuning in to watch a National League game and you're getting thousands and thousands more than usual watching National League, then they should be getting the same revenue that you're giving the Premier League teams. And that will massively offset all these job losses and players going unpaid and all the 0-hour contract staff that work at clubs, and even in the rest of the economy around grounds and in general, because you're not entitled to statutory sick pay if you're on 0-hour contracts.
Yeah.
So people who've got kids who work in 0-hour contracts, work really hard, are not getting this. I mean, even people who are getting it, it's only £94 a week. It's not enough for most people's rents. And that. We don't want to get too political on here, but I'm just going to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that really it's a bit of a struggle at the moment. So, if the Premier League clubs can give up a bit of money to clubs, the lower down the clubs, that will help massively.
Yeah, and that'll free money for the government to give to other
and
people
also
as well.
the broadcasting industry, they definitely owe the lower league clubs some more money.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Not literally owe, but
Yeah, 100%. Some non-league clubs, they're taking it into their own hands to try and solve the situation. Hyde United, they've opened it up so people can put, they're going to put on virtual match days. So basically, you can buy a match ticket, you can buy a pint or burger or whatever, but you're obviously not getting it. But you're helping the club. It's like a donation, really. So you're pretending you're paying for a match ticket and burger. I don't know how well this is going to work, but you're basically donating to a club by buying, a non-match ticket, really.
I saw another Scottish club deal with it in a. I won't be able to get up on the internet. I can't remember the name. It began with N. I think it was a Scottish club. Anyway, they were kind of saying they'd saved up money over a number of months and years. It's kind of like a rainy day thing, and now they were willing to support the businesses around the ground and pay their staff properly, even though they don't earn a lot of money, because they've got that kind of rainy day reserve built up, because they've obviously saved transfer fees and a bit of sponsorship money. So that's a really good gesture there, because obviously they said they've been in trouble with the past and the fans supported them, so it's time for the club to support the businesses and the fans around them and donate to kind of homeless charities and donate food. So that was brilliant as well.
Yeah, that's really good. That is really good.
I will find out the name of that. I will once I get some internet. I get the internet in here, but right, here it is. I found it here. It's called NkGhTg. It was retweeted by Graham Smith. So you want to go on his Twitter page, give him a follow anyway, because he's obviously the YEP chief football writer for Leeds. Hang on, what does it say? Yeah, they budgeted they basically budgeted their money and create like a rainy day fund for businesses and themselves, so they could survive during tougher times. So they're going to continue to pay all the staff and players wages, because obviously the players and the staff that work for them aren't on kind of mega money. So
exactly. I mean, it's part time there, so they're going to have to find another job to make ends meet, really.
Yeah, so they'll use their social media channels to advertise local business sponsors and encourage people to shop local, and buy vouchers for kind of hotels and pubs around to give money into local businesses. So what's they been doing? Yep, so they'll be so they'll be kind of picking up shopping and obviously getting prescriptions to people. And they'll organise that for you. So they'll even get someone to walk your dog for you. If you
that is really good. I love that.
Yeah. So they've they don't know how long the virus is going to be there. So they want you to know that your club is with you. You've supported us, and now it's our turn to do the same for you. So
that is fantastic.
So they're kind of helping all the local businesses, all the fans.
That is brilliant.
They need.
It'll be interesting to see if other clubs follow that.
Obviously, I haven't read out the whole statement there, but it's retweeted by Graham Smith a few hours ago, so you just want to scroll down and read that and give it a like and a retweet as well, because that deserves recognition.
Yeah, 100%, absolutely. But yeah, big implications because of this coronavirus and the effects of it. As I said, Prime Minister Boris Johnson and the government are announcing their plans daily. We don't really want to, dive into that too much, political wise, but we just don't know what's going to happen, do we? It's a day-to-day thing, really. We don't know how long this is all going to last for. It's just going to be a torrid time, isn't it? We don't know how long.
Yeah, they reckon it's going to peak about kind of end of May, June time. Although UEFA have rather optimistically asked that all domestic seasons be completed by June 30th.
Yeah, I don't see that happening. Yeah.
I mean, if you are, it might be able to get done by the end of July. I reckon they could probably get it done by the end of July, and then just kind of maybe delay the start of next season by a month. If they could do it like that, that might do it. But whatever, they can't just scrap the season when nearly 80% of the game's finished.
Yeah, 100%.
Otherwise, it's all meaningless. Every last minute winner, every 5-4 against Birmingham, every
count towards nothing.
Every battering of Hull, every opening day against Bristol City is meaningless. It doesn't count. It's wiped from the history books.
Yeah.
This season, you can't just wipe a season out of history books.
Yeah, well, we're getting to that a little bit shortly, right. But of course, the question really is though, when is football? When will sport be back? When will it return? When will it continue? Now, as we said, they've postponed games until April the 3rd. Although I really cannot see games being played in April. Can you see games being played in April somehow?
No, they just won't happen. I mean,
yeah.
April the 3rd is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
I mean, I can't
it's not going to get resolved
being,
that quickly.
I can't imagine this have blown over in 2 weeks.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently, over in America and Canada, they've been testing vaccines on animals at the moment, and it won't be human trials for months. Yeah. So they probably won't have a vaccine that's approved by everybody till about the start of next year. So we'll have to just get over it, and I don't mean that in the literal, continue walking about. We'll have to just obviously use these social distancing measures that the government and the NHS have recommended. Don't go near anybody. You don't have to. Yep. Don't go outside unless you're going shopping or essential travel, anything like that.
Wash your hands.
Keep washing your hands. Stay hygienic and just make sure that, because it's inevitable, this is just going to get worse. But you can take measures to slow the rise, slow the upward curve, so the NHS can deal with people properly. And because I've heard that. The NHS has got 5,000 ICU beds, and the predicted amount at the current rate that they're going to need is 11,000. So it's more than double we've actually got available.
Yeah.
So and that's with the measures we're currently implementing.
Yeah, we just need to follow the advice that's given, really, just to get through this. But as I said earlier, it's going to get a lot worse before it gets better. So. Yeah, we just need to try and get through this. But of course, as you've said earlier, Euro 2020 was due to start on June the 12th this year. But UEFA met earlier this week and they have postponed that tournament until next year, with Euros now taking place between June 11th and July the 11th of 2021.
It's going to clash with the women's Euros as well, isn't it?
And still, will it? Can you see that tournament still happening? I mean, we don't know when next season's going to be finished. We don't know when it's going to start, and we don't even know when this season's going to be finished. So, that tournament's in question still as well.
Unless if this lasts for months and months and goes into like the winter, what they could do is just, as soon as it's kind of blowing over, finish this season off, the last 9 games, scrap next season entirely. So that'd be fair to everybody, because it doesn't start. That's fair to everybody. And then obviously just do the Euros in the summer, because all the players will be fit, and you could imagine by next summer, I would imagine this will be all right.
Yeah, you'd hope.
It might be a case of writing off next season, which is I think writing off a season that hasn't started is much fairer.
Oh yeah,
than
100%.
Writing off a season that is 80% done.
Yeah, 100%.
Because that doesn't affect anybody if you write off a season before it starts.
Yeah, but hopefully that doesn't have to happen. Hopefully this gets resolved quickly in the next 2 months or so. But we just don't know. That's the scariest thing about it. We just don't know how long this is gonna last for. But a lot of things that you got to wonder. What's gonna happen. The fact UEFA have postponed the Euros though, and that they want the domestic leagues around Europe to finish by June the 30th, which, I don't think that's going to happen. But it does give you the hope that the thinking is there that they do want this season to be completed at some point. Whenever that point is, we don't know, but they do want this season finished.
Yeah, I mean, this is the problem with how much we've expanded the kind of football calendar over recent. I mean, because obviously we've always had the Euros and the World Cup, we've always had domestic leagues, but you've got cup competitions, you've got Nations League. They introduced that, didn't they? Obviously, a couple of years
stupid
ago.
Tournament which no one knows
or cares about.
Yeah, I saw a journalist, a pundit on Sky Sports the other week, saying if you want to understand the Nations League, you need to sit down, concentrate, read it for about 20 minutes, and do that about 5 times to completely understand it. No one's going to do that, so no one understands this Nations League.
And it's just creating another tournament for more revenue. It doesn't mean anything. It's not like the Euros and the World Cup where it's been happening for decades. So I mean, the calendar is so stacked that the slightest kind of interruption causes kind of mayhem, which is and we're not having the slightest interruption at the moment. We're having a major interruption. So yeah, I don't know how they're going to resolve the domestic thing. I think if it comes down to it, if they said to like a kind of worst case scenario, if they said to Leeds, you can either play that once the players are all cleared, play the last 9 games behind closed doors, and then obviously the season's finished, and you cannot. But even then, you think about it, there won't be a promotion party, will there? There'll be no one going out. Out in town, or like you'd want with a football club going up. There'll be no celebrating, no people going to pubs. It'll be a case of watching Leeds in an empty stadium on your phone and celebrating in your own house.
And no one wants to do that. I mean, there's no ideal situation about this, really. Of course, games being played behind closed doors was an option. The only reason sports being cancelled is because players have been getting it. That's the only reason. It only took for Arteta to get it for the Premier League to be like, all right, we need to call all these games off. It wasn't because of concern for the fans and large gatherings, because that wasn't banned at that point. It was just because the players couldn't play because they had it. So that's the reason we don't have football anymore. I
saw someone suggest that all football clubs in professional leagues should deliberately, like they do with chickenpox, deliberately self-infect everybody in the club.
So they're immune to it afterwards.
And then they're all immune afterwards. Which,
if you look
I don't really know how I feel about that, because obviously if any of the players have like a adverse reaction to the virus and get seriously ill, that's a big concern.
Yeah, exactly.
But
so I don't think that's a good idea at all. But for you've spoke about him earlier. Does this season has to be completed for you? In your opinion, does it have to be completed?
Not at the expense of people's lives.
Yeah,
but
obviously, as we said, there's more things to worry about.
Yeah.
And, the health of people must come first. Football, is a second priority right now.
Obviously, there's a selfish part of your brain that just wants this to blow over, and you want to get back playing sport, and you want to finish the season. You want leagues to go up, and you want everyone to be able, have parties in the streets and go on the Otley run and get, I can't say what I was going to say. Get extremely drunk. But there's part of you that thinks, well, if that's just going to kill someone's nan, or someone's mum who's had chemotherapy, or someone's mum who's had pneumonia, then you think,
yeah, exactly. Health and well-being of people is
sport is never going to be more important than people's lives.
Yeah.
I personally, of course, I'm a football fan. I would like to see the season finish. I would like football and life to continue as it has done before. But if it came down to it, then if it's people's lives, it's more important than football.
Yeah. But, for me, though, for football and sport to continue, I don't see how you can continue, football anyway without the season ending, because the season defies, the next season after that. And, for me, the season does have to be completed, whenever that is. I think it does, because, why you shouldn't really prioritise tournaments that haven't even started yet, really.
No.
Shouldn't do that at all. And who says that next season has to start in August? Just because it's done that every single year. It doesn't have to start in August.
Yeah, I suppose not.
You can start it whenever this season finishes. So for me, it has to finish.
Yeah.
And people who are saying other things are just talking rubbish, really. I mean, there's been suggestions that this season could finish just now, and no teams will be relegated, but teams can be promoted. So in our case, Leeds and West Brom going up to the Premier League, 22-team Premier League next season.
But that's just ludicrous. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's stupid.
It does. I can't even wrap my head around how the hell that would work.
Yeah.
22-team Premier League.
Well, 5 will go down the next season.
But like, It doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Well, five go down, only 3 come up.
Yeah.
I mean, that's insane. What are they going to do? Oh, God. I mean, I don't know how that would work. Plus, Leeds and West Brom would be happy with that, you would assume.
But Fulham,
Fulham, Preston, Brentford.
Yeah.
We haven't discussed, obviously, there was rumours in the Times, a report in the Times said that the top 6 clubs in the Championship had met and had decided that they were going to take legal action if promotion and relegation wasn't instituted.
So there's that.
But then there was a conference, apparently, the day with all 24 Championship clubs who unanimously agreed they want the season to finish.
Yeah.
So if the entire Championship agrees that they want the season finishing, the Premier League probably won't be able to handle that amount of lawsuits.
Yeah, exactly. And of course, there's been suggestions that they should make the season null and void, which I don't think that should happen. West Ham's Cameron Brady has been the main one saying that.
Kind of.
She's only saying that because West Ham. She's only saying that because West Ham have had a poor season and she wants to cover up. West Ham had a poor season and she wants to cover up. That's the only reason she's saying that.
The Villa chairman doesn't want the season void, and I was thinking as I was reading that headline, I just thought local man does not want football club relegated.
Yeah, I mean, of course, relegated teams want the season null and void.
Yeah, and obviously teams that hate Liverpool, teams that hate Leeds want the season voiding. Yeah. But the
only fair solution is to finish the season.
But
whenever that is, that's the only fair solution for me.
Liverpool won't want the season voided. Anyone who's in the Champions League spot will not want the season voided. So that's Leicester. I mean, obviously Man City out in the Champions League, but Chelsea won't want it. Obviously Scum won't want it. Sheffield United, they're on the cusp of a European campaign.
Exactly.
They are not going to vote for a season void.
Exactly.
So you're going to get at least half the Premier League are going to say sod that, and then you've got all the Championship clubs. So if you think that the bottom 3, the Prem, and maybe a couple of others are going to sway the entire Football League and the Premier League, I'm thinking that's unlikely.
Yeah, I mean, I really can't see the season being null and void. For me, the only fair solution is to finish this season one way or another. Whenever that is, however to do it.
As soon as
the
the public health crisis passes, whenever that is, because we don't know when that is, do the 9 games. And obviously the Champions League and the Europa League finish the season.
Yeah, as quick as you can.
And then have 6 weeks off or 8 weeks off or whatever, then start a new season.
Yeah, 100%.
That seems like the fairest solution.
Yeah, and that's the only solution for me. That's the only thing that can be done really. Of course, not every club will be happy, but I think the majority of clubs will be happy if the season did finish somehow. For me, that's the only solution. Definitely the only solution there. But it is very interesting. Obviously keep an eye out. Obviously the health and well-being is more important, but it's interesting what's going to happen. We're in unprecedented times, and it is quite worrying. But just hopefully we all get past it. Of course, as we say, follow the advice from the government and the health advice, and just stay safe. Really, just stay safe. As we say, sport is not priority right now. Everyone's health and well-being and family and stuff, that's all priority. So take care of yourselves, your families, stay healthy. Turned on a positive note then, Leeds United, if they broadcast another FIFA game tonight against Fulham, what's your prediction for that?
A prediction for a FIFA game that hasn't occurred yet. I mean, how do you predict a FIFA game? I've no idea. 2-0 Leeds.
Yeah, get a clean sheet again.
Yeah, I don't know you can't predict a FIFA game because it's random.
I saw Leeds Live. They did an article earlier today where they simulated Leeds United versus Leeds on FIFA 20 and wrote a massive article on it on a 2-0 Leeds United win.
What, a Leeds against Leeds?
No, Leeds against Fulham.
Christ.
It's a simulated game and wrote a big article on it on a 2-0 win.
It just shows you the size of industry that football journalism and reporting and rumour actually takes up. It's huge.
Yeah, but it is dreadful. I mean, there's people losing jobs and there's a lot less stories to cover now because there's no sport. So, yeah, I mean, Sky Sports News, they've got nothing. Talk Sport, I've got nothing to cover. They're just going, what's your best 11? Danny Mills. What's your best 11? What's your best 11? Bobby Savage.
Oh, God.
That's all that's happening. It is quite bad.
Yeah. I mean, if we're going to stay on the kind of immature track, it's just for a second, because we've had a lot of serious bits of this podcast. I mean, I have to just have an immature bit for a minute. This is ridiculous how there's nothing to do.
Yeah.
I'm just so sat at home, on my Xbox or watching Netflix series and just thinking, I really want to go outside. Sometimes I go sit in the garden and just remember what it was like.
Just smell the grass.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, this is what it smelled like at Liverpool. Oh,
Yeah.
I missed this.
My brother was mowing the grass yesterday.
What are you watching now?
What I'm watching now. What did I watch the other day? I binge watched all 6 series of BoJack Horseman the other day. That was good. That was really well worth watching. That.
Nice.
What else did I do? I watched the second series of White Gold. That was pretty good. Enjoyed the first season. Got a few actors in the in-betweeners.
Nice.
But yeah, I was rewatching a bit of The Witcher as well because I saw that first time round. That's quite a pretty good series.
Nice.
But I'm just. What have you been watching?
Nothing really.
What have you been doing?
I don't really watch TV. Just been playing FIFA and Call of Duty and that. You need to find some way to entertain yourselves.
Yeah, but I've been ringing my mates as well and ringing me nan. I've been speaking to you a little bit. Obviously, we don't have like long text conversations because we're not teenage girls, but we do text each other now and again.
Yeah.
And
also, you live miles away from me, so it's very hard to just go down to a pub.
Yeah, so I've been ringing me nan, checking in on doing stuff like that. I'm assuming that's what everyone's doing, just ringing people to talk to them.
I mean, obviously, don't see your elderly relatives.
No, don't go
stay
near
in contact with them.
But obviously keep in contact over the phone.
Yeah, obviously make sure everyone's alright.
Drop shopping off for people as well. I really respect those people who are dropping off shopping for people they don't know as well, or dropping off numbers for kind of Meals on Wheels agencies and things like that.
I mean, is there any positives we can take from all this? Because it seems like everyone's community is coming together now.
Yeah, I mean, it's possibly going to help with a bit of things you can't see, like the post-election kind of division, the post-Brexit kind of division in the society.
No one's talking about Brexit anymore. It's great.
It's probably helping bring people together a little bit. So that's a positive. Obviously, but we've already mentioned the fact that the environment's probably not going to take as much of a hammering while no one's flying and no one's driving anywhere.
Obviously, business affected and probably going to be a recession, but
another one, the third one in about 10 years.
Yep. Brilliant.
It's been a hell of a decade.
It's been awful, hasn't it? And what a start to this decade as well.
Yeah, I mean,
World War III almost going to start. Australia on fire. Kobe Bryant died, and we got the coronavirus. It's just dreadful.
It's just been a bit dark, hasn't it?
Yeah.
On the bright side, it can only get better than this.
Yeah, it can only get better. To look at the positives, look at the bright side, and it looks like everyone's coming together just to get ourselves through this. And
the community feel is nice. It is nice.
Yeah, and as I say, follow all the advice, take care of yourselves, your families, and stay healthy. And again, if you're feeling slightly lonely, if you're a bit bored, if you struggle with mental health issues, phone Samaritans on 116 123. I also need to address what's happening with the channel, because a lot of people could be wondering. I haven't really had any questions, but a lot of people could be wondering what's happening with the channel now that there's no football. Got plenty of content lined up. Me and Charles, we could do podcasts remotely via Skype or video call or whatever. We could do that, so me and Charles could continue this podcast.
There'll be a lot to talk about for an hour.
No, but we can live stream it, get people's questions in, so that could be quite fun. I've got a FIFA career mode series lined up. I know that I've tried starting one in the past and it hasn't worked, but I'm going to do it now. Also behind the scenes videos and stuff like that. So plenty of content is coming. Of course, keep updated on the social media pages, All Things Leeds 1 on Twitter and Instagram. Search All Things Leeds on Facebook and YouTube as well. Plenty of content coming out and is planned. But I think we should wrap it up there. Thank you to everyone who has listened to this episode.
Yeah,
episode
cheers.
59. Thank you, as always, to Charles for joining me in the studio.
Mate.
And thank you to everyone who has tuned in as well. As I say, make sure to follow on social media, keep up to date with everything. Give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts if you're listening on there. Subscribe, follow, share, do whatever you do, just do it. Subscribe to the YouTube channel as well.
Above all, just make sure you kind of stay safe.
Yeah.
Stay safe, stay together, stay healthy.
Yeah.
Well, it'll be over before you know it.
Yeah. Follow all the advice. Stay healthy, stay safe, look after yourselves. Take care. I don't know when me and Charles will be back, but we will be back at some stage. But yeah, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon.